Okay, hey everybody in YouTube land. It is Miami Mike 247. We've given this little video session a new name. We're also gonna reach out to all new future van dwellers as well, van lodgers, and we're gonna call this page now Future Van Lodgers of America, FVLA. Kind of like a play on the FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. So hopefully this can be a reservoir for folks who are new to van living. And really, like I said, I want to make this place a place where folks can come to ask the questions that we have. And hopefully this becomes that type of a resource. So I've done a little bit of research, and I know the questions that I want to start to ask. So I've got some notes here, and we're going to go from there. So the first question, and like I said, feel free to comment in right down below there in the questions. No answers will be rejected. Just give me your best estimate on what you think the answers should be to this line of questioning. So we'll get started. The first question I really have is in regards to insulation. And I guess just in general, in the debate over using Reflectex or not using Reflectex, I want to know, if you choose to go Reflectex, how much space is suggested to be between the van surface, that would be like the actual body of the van, and the Reflectex, to achieve the rejection of heat inside the van. So on all of the videos that I've been seeing, everyone talks about losing heat, or losing the ability to reflect heat back out into the world if you apply Reflectex to the base of the car, because technically there's supposed to be a certain amount of inches or half inch, I'm not really sure, that's the question, of space in between the van surface and the Reflectex. So my question to you guys is, approximately, or just as a general rule, how much space is it supposed to be for it to be effective? And then that kind of segues into my second question, because it asks, I would ask, is it even worth using Reflectex at all? Since it has been said that you still have heat absorption in the van, since you can't completely shut out the open space of the driver's area of the van, does this open space negate any benefits of Reflectex altogether? So, like I said, I'm new to this concept, but what I've been hearing is that a lot of folks have been saying, oh, hey, I can't, you might as well not use Reflectex at all. And that kind of put up a red flag, and I wanted to kind of see why. Some of the argument that I'm seeing is that they're saying, hey, you know, it's pointless to have it, because the driver's area of the van, it actually goes to a certain point where you're still going to get in heat reflection in there, and the Reflectex almost becomes a moot point as long as you have that. And so I just wanted to get you guys' viewpoint on that. Tell me where that stands. If you think that Reflectex is pointless, explain to me why. If you think that Reflectex is still good, and you think that even if you have the driver's compartment getting space, even if that happens, it's still a beneficial factor to coat the walls in Reflectex, please let me know in the comments below. Moving on to question number 3, as far as insulation is concerned. Could the required space between the van surface again and the Reflectex possibly, just possibly, be maintained by first placing foam sticky pads on the van surface to kind of act as a spacer between the van surface and the Reflectex? Could that work? Why? And if not, why not? Now, what we're talking about is kind of like a foam pad. So this is a pad of sticky notes, but the concept still remains. What we're really talking about would be having these foam pads. You can get them from the dollar store. You can get them from Home Depot. They come in a roll from Home Depot. So what we're talking about is having a roll of foam pads that would be like about an inch thick, maybe a quarter of an inch thick, a half of an inch thick, and then peeling the adhesive tape off the back, applying it to the van base, to the actual van structure where the van would be, the surface of the van. And then when you naturally, what would happen, what we would think is that wherever the Reflectex goes to be applied to the base of the van, look at that space that's in between. Wouldn't it naturally have that amount of space that it would create that air bubble where air would still be able to circulate through? And then veritably, would that create the necessary airflow that would then make Reflectex work properly? I've been hearing the debate. Every video I hear, soon as someone goes and says, hey, we're installing Reflectex, the next thing that somebody says is, that's the dumbest idea on earth. It's completely a moot point to put up Reflectex because XYZ. Well, and then I've even heard the guys who are pro Reflectex, they've said, well, it doesn't matter because it's too tedious to put up to create that spacage. I found a way that I think could be pretty simple. I mean, it would just, let's say this is the van wall here. That's why we got the blanket up so I can try to use this as a reflection. So let's say this is the van wall, and we are now going to try to apply it to where that works. It would just simply be placing a foam pad and then reapplying the Reflectex over. And as you can see with my hand emulating the Reflectex, there's space in between my hand and the wall. So my question to be would be if I placed one here, 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 there's still the open space. Would that create that airflow that folks are talking about that is required in order to properly use Reflectex? That's my question. Why? Why not? Would it work? Would it not? And why? Let's move on to my next forms of questions, which would be harnessing energy. When we're talking about harnessing energy, the first question that's been bugging me is, what brand do you consider the best for a jumper box? Now, to be more specific, what I mean by a jumper box is this is a box that would be used for a unit to be charged and then utilized in the van for energy on electronic devices. So I know you guys have seen in the news those jumper boxes where it's a little box. Oh, excuse me. You take it inside the house, you plug it into an outlet, it charges overnight, you take it, you put it in the back of your car, you're driving around, the battery dies, you hook it up to the battery, it jumps the battery. But then on the front of that device, you've got your electric sockets to where you can put an electrical device, something as simple as ultimately being able, be right back. A lot of times they'll have USB ports where you can plug in just the actual USB portal there, or it has where you can actually plug in the actual device just right into the USB port. But I'm wondering what variety or what brand you guys have used in that department that's the best. Please comment below. In that same vein, what we're also asking is if there is a box on the market that I can take to my job. Say I get up for work, I go to work, I'm there, I take that box, I plug it into my wall, absorb energy into that box, and then take that box back to my van, where I can, from there, plug all my electronics in. So we're just plugging in the actual electric box, plugging in the cords, and ultimately draw from that stored energy that we built up at my job every day. Because that's an option. I think that could work, but I need to know. So from there, if so, what brand should I consider, and what brand should I stay away from? So if you're going to tell me, please tell me what brands are good and what brands are bad. Okay. So last but not least, what do I need to do to my camper van to make it qualify for an RV classification? And then also, if you can, give me some brands of solar-powered roof fans. That would be great as well. That's it for this video. Though, like I said, mostly these videos that I'm going to post are going to ask questions. They're going to say, this is what my thought process is. This is what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think. And if it works from there, then great. Great. Again, I'm Miami Mike 247. This is now, you're welcome to the Future Van Lodgers of America group. And I appreciate your video comments down below. And thank you guys. Thanks for your help. Oh, please subscribe. I'm brand new. I don't even have any subscribers yet. First person to subscribe will get a personal email from me just saying a thank you note and a picture of my van once I get there. So, yeah, if you guys could, please reach out, say thanks, and just to say thanks, just give your input, subscribe if you would. Help me start this thing. Thanks, guys. Bye now.